Everybody loved my last video on the quest update, so I'm here to share my thoughts on the new Riparia map, since I can tell that so many of you were eagerly waiting for it. And you might not believe this, but it's pretty good. To start off with pure aesthetics, it's probably the best looking map I've seen in one of these games. The redwoods look just as beautiful and imposing as you would expect. The swamp includes desolate and unnatural visuals not too different from the old Monster Hunter swamps. Different types of caves and canyons spread themselves out across both the land and the oceans. Waterfalls, rock formations, and more that loom over the map are almost constantly giving you something to view in the distance. Even some of the areas more reminiscent of older maps have been notably spiced up with foliage and other obstacles, and that includes new variations of those with many ferns and trees sticking out to me as I travel. I also love some of the obstacles that seem to replicate the general shape or vibe of more artificial or organic things without sacrificing the immersion by actually including them, like these rocks that form a ribcage around a slope. Especially playing for the first time, I can't see how you wouldn't experience some wonder here. There's an allure present when looking towards the land as an aquatic, and vice versa. Pretty much everything down to the lighting, terrain differences, placement of landmarks, and variety in what's present is more than satisfactory. That variety is also far better integrated into the feel of the map than in Gondwa, for example. Where Gondwa kinda just feels like a big splash of biomes, I'd say that Riparia has a much cleaner transition between its more temperate and tropical areas, that being the shift outwards towards the sea, and even the desert atmosphere doesn't come across as scorching enough to me to really separate itself from the rest of the land. Also, that half land, half ocean map structure is something I really like. I think it's a lot more interesting than having an island sandwiched in by water, or the opposite of that, which is what Panjura is. It definitely seems like they cared about all of their realms and helped them merge together naturally. Thank God they also did so alongside TLCs and quests and such to improve the gameplay of the realm, unlike a certain other game. I haven't explored the whole ocean yet, so I might have missed something, but I will say that I think the variety of that is something that they can improve here. Even just some darker waters, mostly lit by the glow of jellyfish near the outside of the map, would go a long way. But also something to help the surface feel more vulnerable to the depths would be great too. And finally, actually playing it. I feel the least confident talking about this since I've only spent a couple hours on either land, sea, or sky, but I would still say that so far it does not let the map down. Winding pathways of water throughout many areas like the volcano islands creates a lot of routes to catch potential prey or make a getaway without being easily trackable. I've also learned that there are a lot of underwater tunnels to get between the land and the ocean, so that's quite interesting. The sheer amount of visual verticality was definitely worth being concerned about considering the other two maps, but it really didn't get in the way this time. Even with my minimap off, I rarely struggled to find my way around things. The increase in falling logs for this map really helps when getting around certain areas too. I can see this map's terrain having an easier time creating natural territories without the need for rules, once again helped by the transition from tall ominous cliffs to smooth waters, giving you more defined stretches of land where your dinosaur or build might be more efficient. The spacing of trees in certain biomes like the redwoods meets a perfect middle ground between seeing too much and having your screen overcrowded, creating a great atmosphere for feeling like you might be getting stalked. And really that's one of the best parts, the atmosphere. I have never been unnerved to any degree while playing Path of Titans until I switched my HUD off and just waltzed around on Riparia. And I also think the weather system on this map works better due to that atmosphere. I don't have much experience yet, and I think they could improve it a bit, but I only really have a couple smaller nitpicks and I'm very surprised and satisfied with what came out. It is almost certainly going to become my main map whenever I play. Good job, Alderon, you get a shifty stamp of approval. Let me know your thoughts on the map down in the comments. Thanks for watching.